and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am Dr. Brianna Whiteside. In this video, we're talking about money again. Can you please like the video, share with a friend, subscribe to the YouTube channel, whatever the case may be. I would be greatly appreciative of that effort because as we begin to build a community over here. So in today's video, I want to talk about the difference between budgeting and building wealth. These are two different muscles that you will have to use, and one is maybe for short term and while the other is for long term. And generally people think that these two things are synonymous, and they are not. One is sustainable long term, but one is not sustainable long term. This is why people be so tired, and I didn't realize how tired I was until I realized that I was still trying to implement one strategy while I was already in a new season. And so let me take you back to 2020. I'm learning about the stock market. I'm out of the consumer debt because I got out of that in 2019. I didn't build up my build up my first savings account to 10K. I generally save in multiples of tens, and I'm exhausted because I am budgeting my way out of consumer debt. Not only am I budgeting, I am working so hard, teaching in the summer, doing side hustles. So I was able to pay down the consumer debt back in 2019. But I had not shifted my mindset in 2020. So I still have the same budgeting mindset. Budgeting mindset is about limitation and regression. You have to bring down your spending. You have to live on a strict budget, and it is painful. It's painful. It hurt your feelings. You be like, oh my God, I'm tired of eating beans and rice and noodles and not being able to go out. I'm tired. Like, you have to cut a lot of stuff when you're budgeting. You have to pull back on your spending. And it was a painful experience, but it wasn't as painful as being in that 10K of consumer debt. It was not. But nobody likes long-term punishment or long-term downward progression, right? And so psychologically, I was exhausted. I was tired. I was like, I can't keep this up. I can't keep this up because I'm still having this lack mindset, but also this budgeting mindset. Budgeting mindset is not bad. No pain, no gain. If you need to get out of consumer debt, you're going to have to feel the pain of pulling back, the pain of living on less. I was literally living on less. Was not enjoying the gains. All the money was going through the credit card debt. And then when I finally got into 2020, all the money was going to the savings account. And so that was my main focus. I was tired. I wasn't enjoying anything. And then I had to realize you're no longer in the get out of debt bracket, Brianna, or season. Now you're in the wealth building season. Okay. And that was hard for me because I had never tried to build wealth. I had never known about building wealth. I didn't even know how to get out of consumer debt. And I thought I was going to be in consumer debt my whole life because no one taught me. But just because no one taught me does not mean that I wasn't responsible for learning the information. So I had to come to grips with, you're out of that lack season, and now it's time for you to expand and move into a progressive overload season when it comes to building wealth. And generally progressive overload, and that's a term we use in the fitness community because your girl trying to be snatched for the summer. Generally progressive overload is when you are, slightly increasing the weights every time you go into the gym or every week that you're lifting. So for instance, before taking creatine in January, I was only hip thrusting 90 pounds on the Smith machine with the plates. And it's probably 102 pounds given the weight of the bar, but I don't want to worry about that. 90 pounds on the plates. That's what I was lifting. Since taking creatine in, January or February, one of the 2 months, I'm now up to 165. Your girl got to build a glutes because my mama ain't give me nothing. Anyway, so I'm now up to 165, but it happened progressively. First, I was at 95. Then I had to progress to 100, then 110, 115, so on and so forth. So when I'm thinking about progressive overload as it comes to build wealth, the only way that you're going to be able to build wealth is actually, number one, you're going to have to decrease your debt. That's the debt mindset. That is that budgeting mindset. Or you're going to have to increase your value. Okay. That is monetizing your gifts that you got for free that God does want an ROI on. You're going to have to start charging for them. Because everybody ain't broke in recession. Everybody ain't broke. Don't count the pockets of the people. You know what I'm saying? Don't do that. Why are you counting other people's pockets? Because you're counting your pockets and you're assuming that your client doesn't have it. Wrong goal. Stop assuming. You know what they say? When you assume, you make a what out of you and me. I'm a Christian on cuss, but you know what I'm saying. So I had to progressively overload in wealth building. So that meant stop working extra jobs and start monetizing my gifts, start opening my mouth, start sharing my journey on social media to eventually get monetized on social media. Now, y'all, I do some wig influencers. This is my hair. Y'all see here. This is my hair, but I've partnered with companies to be a wig influencer where I not only get a free product, I get paid for posting, and I get commission on all the sales. That's monetizing a hobby. I like wig reviews. Now they are weighing down my hairline. That's why I got my hair out. But I like playing dress up. I've always liked it. I like beauty stuff. And so I decided I'm going to put myself out here on TikTok. I'm going to get out here on TikTok and I'm going to do that thing. I'm going to do the thing. Okay. And it has been paying me well. Also, I am a researcher, so I'm able to come to here and talk to you about that. Also, I'm able to build products and merchandise, evergreen products that would always save me. Shameless plug. You should grab my Wealth Mastery bundle. Equipped with 2 ebooks, How I Climbed Out of Consumer Debt in 8 months and How You Can Too, and How I Saved $20K in a year and How You Can Too. You can go ahead and click the link in the description and head on over to BriannaWhiteside.com. But I created products based on my journey that were applicable, that were easily digestible. I did all of these things. I was out here wearing all the hats and I wasn't exhausted because this stuff comes natural to me. I'm naturally good at writing. I can teach you something, right? And so that's nothing. And I started learning how to lay a wig and it was fine. It ain't perfect. No, but who says you have to be perfect? That's your mess up right there. Who said you had to be perfect? Nobody. But anyway, then I'm still in the wealth creation phase right now. Even though, I've been living off my savings and doing all the things, waiting for the blessing. Because I got the test, I ain't got the money yet. So I'm trying to get the testimony since leaving my career. But I was also able to monetize my academic research since I'm no longer in academia, right? So now I have a Substack. I have a free version and a paid version. People pay me to be in the paid version. They want the information. Like, there's so many ways that you can monetize your skills that don't require you to give up money out of your own pocket. So many ways. But we have become lazy as believers and hyper focusing on the spiritual side that we become imbalanced and we don't have what we need on the natural side. This is a partnership. You were created to dominate. Domination does not mean live in poverty, live beneath what you're supposed to have. It don't mean that. And if you're living this way, of course, there are all of these socioeconomic factors that go into why Black and brown people are not as progressive as they need to be. But we're not talking about those because the Bible does not give you any excuse, because in Deuteronomy, it tells you what? He's giving you the power to create wealth. So there is no excuse for you not to be on the wealth creation side. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not coming at you, but we stand on Bible over here. We don't stand on emotion, even though I be crying. I don't mind crying because it's the truth of the journey. I don't mind crying. My feelings be hurt. But at the end of the day, I'm going to go and get to what I got to go and get to. And that is the type of attitude that you're going to have too. You're going to have to give God an ROI. So in the process of knowing you're going to have to give God an ROI, why won't you allow your gifts that were free to work for you? Because we've been conditioned to only give them in service to a certain institution and not let those gifts and talents serve us. And it's not your fault. But after hearing this, it will be your fault if you continue on in that tradition. And I'm not telling you not to do nothing. You've grown. I'm just giving you food for thought. You cannot stay in a budgeting mentality because it's going to force you or encourage you to want to give up. You can stay longer in a wealth building mentality because that builds creativity in you. That allows you to implement things that you may not have never implemented and explore parts of yourself that may have just been dormant. And if you are using all of your gifts and talents and then you see God say, okay, She's using all her gifts and talents. Let me add some more to her. That's parable of the talents right there. Let me add some more to her because this person ain't using theirs. So could it be that someone took your talents, like God transferred your talents to somebody else because you've been sitting on them for years, and your talents are time sensitive. Things are time sensitive in this realm, and the longer we sit on our laurels, it's not personal, but God needs things done in the earth, and He commissioned you to do it. But if you're not doing what you're supposed to do, then that math don't math. But guess what? He's committed to his word. He holds his word above himself. And that means that you have to do your due diligence and you have to do your part. That's all I'm saying. You can't stay in budget land, but you can stay longer in wealth creation land. And sometimes you have to be in both lands simultaneously as you're retraining your brain. But understand that wealth is supposed to be your portion, but we give it up every time. We give it up every time because we don't do our due diligence and we're not good stewards, and we need to stop that. So the difference between, I'm just going to give you a recap. The difference between budgeting and building wealth is budgeting requires a reduction mindset. You're going to have to pull back. You're going to have to stop so many things. Building wealth gives you more freedom of creativity, and gives you more joy. I'm not even going to lie. Like when the Bible talks about the borrower slave to the lender, he ain't lying. The Bible ain't lying. You feel like you're enslaved. You do. But when you're able to shift out of that, because you've done your due diligence and your season is up there. So many people's seasons was supposed to be up there, but they were manipulated to get off that money that they should have still sat on. That's neither here nor there. That season of poverty is up for you, but you have to agree that season of poverty is up for you. I had to come into agreement, y'all. And sometimes coming into agreement, it takes a long time because your mind's still in it. But that does not mean you cannot do it. It's a daily process. And so I just want to tell you that you can never budget your way out of poverty. You won't be able to. You won't be able to continue slicing that pie like that. So you need to build wealth as you're getting out of debt. And the only way you're going to do that is to get over yourself, get over your pride, because that's what's stopping a lot of people from getting up, turning their camera on, doing what they're supposed to do. It's pride. Pride comes before a fall. You're going to have to get over your pride. Put your ego aside and get to it. Because everybody ain't broke in recessions. Especially given that tariffs have been imposed on certain foreign countries. People in America are gonna need some goods. And if you know how to sell, if you know how to do certain things, you can apply for government contracts. I don't know how to apply for government contracts because I'm not doing anything productive on that level or on that scale, or I don't even have an interest to do that. But you can apply for a government contract. Things that make you go, Right. All right. I'm going to leave you with that. I've been here so long. I'm trying to keep these videos under 20 minutes. I don't want to belabor the point. If this has encouraged you, blessed you, go ahead and like the video. Leave me a comment. Also, don't forget to grab the Wealth Mastery Bundle at BriannaWhiteside.com. Link is in the description. And I will see y'all soon. Bye.